Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Okay, so first question is what is Terraform, right? So nowadays, whenever we talk about Terraform, we say entire infrastructure coding you can do through this tool. Okay, so it's one of the very popular tools in today's DevOps world, and this tools can help you to code for infra, right? Because I've been telling you, like, you cannot skip the coding. If you have come to the DevOps and if you think you will skip the coding, then it's a wrong thing. So you have to do the code. But in the DevOps, more or less, you have to do the coding for infrastructure. So here, yes, this tool is basically for coding for infra. Now, when I say coding for infra, then you must be understanding that in infrastructure you have so many tools. And so many tools we have. So if you look at this, what are the tools we have in infrastructure? See, just think about it. No matter whether you are a dev, QA, operations, or what exactly, you must be using some tools, right? Without tools, nothing works, right? In today's DevOps world. So you may be using GitHub, Maven, Gradle, Selenium, Jenkins, Ansible, Puppet, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, MySQL, Apache, dot. Hundreds of tools you'll be having in SDLC cycle, but how to automate end to end? So because these are the infrastructure tool, right? So how can you code for all these tools, but only one language for all the tools? Only one language. So you want to code, that means when I say code, that means automate everything in one go. But you don't want to learn multiple languages like YAML, JSON, shell scripting, bash scripting, XML, Perl, Python, Ruby, this, that. You don't want to learn those so many tools. So do we have any tools which can help you to automate every tools of the infrastructure, but using one programming language, one not programming language, one a declarative language? And that is where the Terraform is coming. So Terraform is nothing but using Terraform, you can write a one language for automating the flow of all the tools in your infrastructure, and that language we call it a Terraform configuration language, which is very easy to learn, write, debug, share, test, and things like that. So guys, did you understand what is a Terraform? Did you understand this?
So Rajesh, you are saying is the coding tool for infra, and whatever the tools you mentioned, all those tools are using the different language. But if we need to use one language, then we will go with the Terraform.
Correct. 100% correct. Okay. How we will get through that? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now the question is, this tool has come from which company? So HashiCorp is the organization who has developed this tool. But let me tell you one thing. HashiCorp is one of the organizations which has so many popular tools, starting with the Vagrant. I think that session is pending, so I need to cover that. I got my RAM upgraded, so I can do this in laptop only, this laptop. So I got from 8 GB to 16 GB now, so I can do without any problem. So probably I'll plan and let you know. So yes, HashiCorp initial products were like a Vagrant, then we got a Terraform, then we have a Consul, we have a Vault, we have a Packer, we have a Nomad. So many tools are there, and most of the tools which we have included as part of this training. So that's one of the good things here. So HashiCorp is one of the good organizations, one of the fastest startup company in the Silicon Valley, and it has a good product altogether, right? So most of the product we are learning, like Vagrant is a part of MD course. Terraform you're learning right now. Consul is also we're going to learn as part of the MD course. Vault is also as a part of the MD course. Nomad is also a part of the MD course. So every tool is very, very popular in the today's DevOps domain, and we are going to cover that. Okay, so now this is from the company called HashiCorp. Now typically they have a two releases. One is like a Terraform, which is a command line tool, which is a free, and I'm teaching you this one only. And Terraform Enterprise also we have it, which supports command line plus GUI, and it's a paid one. Okay, you can get the Terraform cloud version if you want to use the enterprise. You can get the cloud version as well. So that is available for the everyone. Now this tool is written in Golang, and this is one of the wonderful tools. So guys, did you understand that? What is Terraform and why do we need this? Everyone?
This
Okay, so now let's move on to the things, and the question which we are going to talk about, how Terraform works. The question you must be thinking, how can it be possible, like every different tools we have in the infrastructure, how Terraform using one single programming language, they can automate everything. I mean, I need to learn only one programming language that's called TCL, Terraform configuration language, and using that I can code for entire infrastructure. So how that works, how that can be possible? So it's very simple concept. We need to understand that. Forget about the Terraform right now. Okay, that's out of the scene right now. Think about it. Let's say there are certain tools which you have right now in your infrastructure. Let's say cloud platform, AWS, Azure, Google, GitHub, Jenkins, Puppet, and so many other tools. Now, if you want to automate those tools, I mean, if you want to automate your workflow, whatever you do, setting up the dev environment, QA environment, production environment, integrating all these things, doing the sanity, all these things you do that, right? Hundreds of times you do that. Everyone in your team, they do that, right? And you want to have everything one click, right? You want to have everything one click. So how that can be possible? So think about it. Each tools whichever you are using, they have hundreds of features also, like AWS. You know how many services we have in AWS? I think more than 5,000 services, and I know only at max 400 or 500, not more than that. Okay, so 5,000 services you have. Now AWS is a platform for everyone. Are you the developer? Are you the administrator? Are you the QA person? Are you the operations? Are you the IoT guys? Are you the mobile guys? Are you the CTO, CEO, digital marketing, satellite, robotics, artificial intelligence? What you are, you have a services over there, right? So hundreds of services are there. Like Azure, we have hundreds of services. Google, we have GitHub, so many features. Now you know that GitHub. So so many features we have. Jenkins, you might have seen that, right? So many plugins, this, that, and all. Puppet, Ansible, Chef, MySQL. You name it. So many services, so many features are there in each tools we have. So what typically, when you want to automate something, let's say you want to automate AWS, you want to automate the complete workflow of that AWS. What programming language you use? Anyone has idea which service you use for that? Anyone? Uh-huh. Hello, are you there?
yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any service which can help you to automate entire workflow which you do manually every day through the console? Have you heard about the cloud formation? So you have a cloud formation. Cloud formation you can write in YAML or JSON. Again, this needs API request. In the Azure, similar we have a resource manager. Again, API request. Google also API request. GitHub also API request. Jenkins also API request. Puppet also. So nowadays, if you look at this, any tools which you can use it here, everything required the API request to automate. So ultimately, API is the endpoint where you get all the features. If you have access to that platform through API, you can access everything and automate everything. So if you what typically you do that you want to create an infrastructure, you want to create a EC2 instance, configure it, update the infrastructure, you want to update some new software in the existing EC2, and same time once the requirement is done you want to destroy it. Everything should be one click. So same way you want to do everything everywhere. You want to create, update, test, debug, whatever, and destroy. So if you want to, you see, if you are using only AWS, this okay. But what about you are using 20 of the tools in the infrastructure? How can you automate? How can you automate? Okay. So let's understand that how can you automate. So what Terraform have done, very simple thing. It's not rewritten the entire architecture. Understand that. You have so many tools in your infrastructure. Let's say AWS, Azure, Puppet, or Jenkins. So many tools are there. Now what you want to do, GitHub also. So every feature of AWS you can access through API. Azure also same way, you can access through API. API, here API again, here API again. So in nutshell, if you want to automate everything, these all are APIs, and these APIs accept the request in different format. Like someone in JSON, someone in YAML, someone in Python, some in Ruby, some in XML, some in shell scripting, some in bash scripting. I mean, different ways you have where you send the request to APIs. They accept the different format. So now Terraform is saying you write in one language. So let's say you wanted to create AWS instance, Azure instance, Google Cloud, Jenkins, you want to create, set up a job, GitHub repository or related work you want to do, Puppet you want to do, something like that. So you writing everything in one script. This is called Terraform configuration language. But the problem here is this language, this script, you can write it, but this need to be sent to the different API in their own format. Correct? Think about it. Their own format. So what Terraform have done, they have created one library which they call it provider. So for each tools there is a provider. Now what happens? See, this is the real migration work, is translation work they are doing. See, you are writing in one script. That means you know only one script. And using the Terraform, this is the Terraform here. Using the Terraform, they send this all the script to different tools, APIs through the provider. So this provider play a very important role. This provider convert this script to their supported script. So now API receive that request in their own supported format, request, response, get back, and job done. So did you understand how it works? Here you have a provider who's sending this interaction, Terraform executable. Are you getting it this point? Guys, are you getting it?
Terraform control language, I got it, and after that is reverse thing, I have not got it, Rajesh.
So where you got a confusion?
Yeah, this Terraform control language, but this Terraform control language has to communicate to the API in their own format, right? That I did not understand.
No. So this file you write, okay, and whatever the automation you want to do, you write in the TCL, send to Terraform. Okay, Terraform. This is the one tool which you have to install it. Terraform send this, each aggregate this request and send to the different provider. This provider convert this request and send to APIs, perspective APIs. Request is received in the right format, response has happened, Now Terraform says, okay, this work has been completed. Understood this? Okay, so basically, if you see that here, this model, these two model, they are doing help you to translate this one language to multiple language to one language. And this is the job of the Terraform. So that's the reason Terraform is saying you can code, but for entire infrastructure, whatever you have. So if you have a provider, because provider is playing a very important role. For each tool, you have a provider, one provider available. So that's the reason they are able to do the coding for entire infrastructure. Now this provider is like a kind of library which understand every functionality of AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Jenkins, GitHub, and blah blah blah. So this provider writing is like a main work here. Terraform just passing the request and response. Understood this flow? Everyone? Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so now understand this. Here I can create it. But how this Terraform will come to know? Next, this is the first version, okay? You created. But second options, you don't modify everything, just modify 2-3 resources out of 10 resources. So how this Terraform will come to know? Only those resources I need to update it. Only those. This is called update. So what the Terraform is doing for that? So what they do actually, whatever the script you send it, TCL script you send it Terraform, and whatever the response they get it, the Terraform store that response, the output of the response in the state file. It's important one. Whatever the response, let's say you created one EC2 instance here, some here, something you got created, whatever it is, you store that in the state file. Terraform stored in the state file. So now next time you apply one more time same script, they will check is it change, it's an addition or change or deletion. They'll check from this place. So if you find a state file and it's this is a desire, okay, this is the desire and this is the actual which you have got it. So if desire and actual is mismatch, then change happens or destroy happens or addition happens. If not mismatch, nothing will happen. So even though if you apply one time, you run 10 times the Terraform script, nothing will happen. This is called idempotent functionality. I think I taught you in the Ansible also. Ansible also has that feature. Okay, so Terraform manages the state file, and based on the state file, they decide which need to be updated and which need to be destroyed. Because in the AWS, think about it, you have hundreds of engineers. Each engineer has created so many resources in the cloud. Their resources should not be deleted. Only your resources which you created, that should be deleted. So where this is being stored? State file. Okay. So now what you have understood through this discussion, in this Terraform, how Terraform works, architecture. So in this you have need a Terraform executable. This is the one. Now this you can install in the Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever the operating system you have. Now you need a providers. This is the one. It's the important one, which plays the conversion role and understand each feature of their providers. Now if you want to know the list of providers, how many you have it, let's spend some time here. This you are. So see that here. So they have a categories of the provider. Left side, if you check it out. See here. These are the providers. These are the categories. So if you click here, let's say major cloud, and see here, so many. AWS is there, Azure is there, Google Cloud is there, Oracle is there, VMware is there. Many things are there. Infrastructure software, you want to see that how many providers are there. Look at this: Chef, Consul, Docker, Helm, Kubernetes, everything. Nomad, RabbitMQ. So many providers are there. Networking related. See here. And VCS, monitoring, database. Okay. So look at this. So many providers are there. So those providers which you can find it here, you can easily automate that the infrastructure using the Terraform. Those providers, if you are not able to find it, Either you have to write a provider or community provider which is not tested thoroughly, or you can do some more workaround and stuff like that. More or less, most of the most popular tools in the DevOps culture, you will get it here. So dev tools, QA tools, operations tools, every tools, all the popular tools, you get it here. So guys, did you understand this concept of provider? Did you understand this? Everyone?
Rajesh.
Okay, so now here you see that this is a Terraform, this is the provider. Now we need a TCL script, Terraform configuration language. So here, what is this TCL? So basically guys, it's very easy to read. I'll show you that in a demo. Okay, now how to store this configuration file? Any TCL file, if you want to store it, you have to store in the .tf. Yes, .tf is for the storing the Terraform configuration file. Okay, so this is what you have to do. Now the question is, after understanding each component, state file, I'll show you that during the demo. Okay, what do you want actually? What do you want? In using Terraform, what do you want? So you want to automate this. So what do you want? So we need to understand the skeleton, how to write a TCL script. That's the question. That's the most important question. How to write Terraform TCL script. So step number one, first thing, what you have to do in order to decide the TCL script, first you have to decide what kind of provider you need for your automation. You need this provider, this provider, this provider, this provider, this provider. That's a step one. Okay, so you need a provider. After that, once you have a provider, remember each provider like AWS has a multiple resources. For example, let me show you manually, then you will visualize this. First, I'm showing you manually through the console, and then so I'm just checking that why the system is little slow, even though I upgraded the RAM. So I think because of okay, so GoToMeeting also consume lots of CPU, I guess. What is this? Yeah. Okay, anyways, so here, see, I'm doing, so here you see that how many resources you have. This is a platform, how many services you have. So you have 5,000 resources you have. So if you want to see that here, look at this. These are the category, right? For every individual, so you can go for it. I'll click the category one of this. This is the compute is a super category. Then we have a subcategory. If you click on the subcategory, you'll get a multiple resources, like EC2 is another resources, right? Volume is another. Key is another resource. Security is another resources. Security group, VPC, subnet, route table, no, EFS, S3, all these things. You have a different resources. So these are the resources. So first thing what we have, when we create a resources here, these are the resources. Resource group, you can also create it. So Now let's say if you want to create an instance, launch instance. And see here, select. You can see that. So these are the options. These are the arguments, you can call it. Parameters, arguments, whatever it is. So if you see that skeleton is something like this. Look at this. First you have a provider, then resources. So each provider you have a resources and then arguments. So these are the things. Now if you see that EC2 is a resources, and whatever you are filling right now in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are arguments. Some of these arguments are required, some of these are optional. So something similar concept we have in the Terraform also. So look at this here. Now I'll show you. Let's go to the AWS major cloud. One of the provider which I'm going to go for is the AWS. AWS is a major cloud provider. Okay, so first provider which has been written in Terraform to automate the AWS. Now see here this is the provider, and now left side if you scroll down, you see so many resource group. It's resource group. See here, these are the resource group. So now can I go ahead and look at the EC2? See, scrolling down, see this is the EC2 is one of the group. Now inside that you see here you get two things. One is the data groups, one is or one is resources. I'm talking about the resources, not the data group, data source. See here, this is the category, these are the resources under this category. So how many resources you have? Click here. Now see here, you want to create an AMI, you want to copy the AMIs, but right now I'll create a EC2 instance. So go to the EC2 instance, one of the resources. See here, this is the one. You want to create a EIP, elastic IP address, key pair. For everything there's a resources. So provider has a resources. So let's click on the AWS instance, and now you see here you got this resources. Okay, so now the skeleton of the program will be very simple. You will have a provider, then you'll have a resources, then resources which you're creating but with arguments, right? Because some of the required arguments you have to pass it. So these are the arguments. So where do we find those arguments? So click here, and here it says each resources will have arguments. So always refer the official documents only, because that's where you will be up to date. Lots of changes happen over the period of time. So Google might not work because some of the posts got outdated, strings got outdated and stuff like that. So here argument reference, and you see here all these arguments. Same thing which you can see here, I have shown you here. These are the things. So when you want to write a TCL script, basically you have to write provider, resources, and their argument. That's all. That's all. Again, I repeat, when you want to automate any resources, you want to create, update, or delete, you have to specify which provider, what resources, with what argument. That's all you will go in the TCL script. So are you getting my points here? Are you getting my points, guys? Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so now provider, resources, and arguments. That's all. That's all you remember. Which provider? I shown you list of provider. Each resource, each provider, we have hundreds of resources, more than that in fact. And each resources will have hundreds of arguments. You need to understand the pattern, else you'll get lost. So now find out what you want to do, what kind of automation you want to do. So I want to do something like some automation. So I want to create, it's a kind of project, small project. Create a EC2 instance, and install Git into that.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
Into it. Okay, run. When I say install here, it can run any commands also, by the way, any commands. Now create a repo in GitHub. It's a see this EC2 instance. I need to create through the provider AWS. GitHub resources. This is the provider GitHub. So like that, you can have a n number of providers and their resources. The project can be complicated as the demand grows and requirement grows. So now let's do that something like this. So how do we do that? So first thing, the question is, how do we install the Terraform? So if you go Terraform here, Terraform, download. Look at this. Here, Terraform you can install for any platform. So you have executable for Mac, FreeBSD, Linux, OpenBSD, Solaris, and Windows. So what I did in the morning, I installed it, downloaded it already. Typically, you know that where I keep my script, tools, and Terraform. So I downloaded and I keep it in the Terraform. Here it is. That's all. This is the one which I downloaded. Okay, you see that morning timestamp also is there. Okay, so now I downloaded this one, and after this, I copied this into the path. So where to do that? env set in the path environment variable. So that way you can use the Terraform executable anytime. So environment variable, path edit, and see here, there's the last one. C tools Terraform. That's all. So now if you are done, installation is done, and then you want to verify. So command line Terraform, enter. Now you'll get the command line options. See here. So these are the commands you have to learn. That's all. Okay. So before that, learning the command lines, you have to have a TCL script, right? TCL script. So what do you want to do? So let me show you here. Go to the E drive and create a projects. This is the projects, and I'll delete this. Okay. Now I deleted. Now I'll delete this one also because I don't need it. It's yesterday's today's morning demo. So now let's say I'll just move this one by one. I'll add it in front of you. So now let's say first step, what you want here. First step, what do you want? So you want to download the provider. How can you download the provider? This is the same script. You can use the download the provider. So what you can do, write any TF file. You can put it everything in one TF file, or you can manage the different TF file. So see here, this is the one provider, AWS. I'm downloading this all. You can copy from the official documents also, like this. It will download. Now GitHub, second provider also downloading. Now these access keys will not work because I tried in the morning, I deleted it. So we'll create it one more time. So now the question is, I write this one. These all are optional, by the way. These all are optional. You can comment it if you want it, like this, hash, like this. Okay. So you want to download this provider because I remember this provider and Terraform. I got it. This I got it. This Terraform you need it, and then you will write the TCL. Okay. So how do we download this Terraform script? So I write this provider.tf, and in this cmd command line and type init Terraform init. Now guys, init has to be done only one time because provider you download only one times for each project. Okay, it's a one-time activity. Now this is the init. So before that, running that command, I would like to share with you one flow. So just go to this page. We call it workflow, right? So here, click on this workflow, this article. And here you see what are the commands you need to learn. So only 3 commands you need to learn, and that command is, let it get loaded. That's all. See here, init, plan, apply, destroy. Okay, that's all. Init, plan, apply, and destroy. So once you complete your Terraform scripting, you have to do this. Init. This will do what? Download the provider. Plan will do run the dry run for your Terraform program. Dry run. Okay. Apply will do the real changes. This can create the do these things. It can update the things. Two things it can do through update. And destroy means whatever you created through create, it will destroy. That's all. These 4 commands you need to learn: Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, Terraform destroy. Did you understand these 4 commands? What is the meaning of it? Everyone? Guys?
Yes, Rajesh. Yes. Yep.
Okay. So now you have to write a Terraform init because you have to run the Terraform because provider is not downloaded. So can we do that? So here Terraform init. See, I'm running from scratch. Okay, now it's trying to download. From where it's downloading? So HashiCorp has a one registry where all this thing is available. So they will download it from there. So in my Windows, little bit slow, but you'll get it. In Linux, it's very fast. And guys, I installed it. So can I do one more time? Redo these things because you have already downloaded it. You'll not re-download it. Okay, so see here, using previously installed the latest version. So where is the provider? So this .terraform plugins registry here. See AWS. This is the AWS. See, it's a exe, nothing but exe. See that. This is a provider is nothing but exe in Windows. And second one is GitHub, right? So GitHub also. See this. So now you see here, this you got, this you got. Now we have to do what you want to do through the GitHub with the help of Terraform. So now you have to write a EC2 instance, GitHub related resources. So now provider is done. See here, provider is done. Now after the provider, what you have to do? You have to do only resources and their argument. That's all. Where in which file? .atf file. That's all you have to do that. Are you getting my points now? Everyone? Guys, did you understand that in it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to create an instance. So what do we do? Resource and argument. That's all. So for that, I had created this one in the morning. I'll just copy paste projects. Here it is. Now look at this. Again, it's a TF file. Let me tell you here, it can be hundreds of TF files or one TF files. While running it, it will consolidate it everything. Don't worry about it. So you can, for organization purpose, you can keep it in a different file. See here. This is the resource. What resource? AWS instance. Look at this here. Go to the official documents and check it out. So here, look at this AWS instance. I want to create an instance. You can create anything. AWS has 5,000 resources, so you must be having so many resources here also. Okay, so it is one of the first provider which has been written, so you'll get almost everything. Almost. So you see here, what is the resource? Name of the resource, I mean type of the resource is what, and this is the name of the resources. This need to be unique actually to that provider. That means if you have AWS provider, you cannot use the example 2 times. But if it's another example, other provider like a GitHub or any other one like a GCM or something like that, you can use that. That way this name is unique only up to the provider. Okay. Now here, remember, to create a EC2 instance, you have to pass this AMI and instance type, correct? So this is the required things. Required. How do we get it? I don't know. So learn from here only. See here. By the way, You don't need to learn from here because you know that AWS instance, these are the some of the things is required as to the thing is taken default. But still, if you want to learn, you see that MI is required. Do you have anything? Again, type is required. So you can write it whichever is required, optional if you want it. If you want it, then optional. So all these things you have it. Each resources you have a different arguments, and there are types also. You see that required, optional, optional, optional. If you declare the EVS volume, then it's this is the required. So that way you have to find it out. Each and every examples you will get it if you click here. Okay. If you go down bottom section. Okay. See here. Some examples are here. Some examples are here. Okay. So like this you have to learn. So now I wanted to create a EC2 instance named with example MIID instance type and tag with this one. Okay. And this I will remove it for time. I'll talk about this one later. That's all. So this is my tier program created. Okay. So is it very difficult? Like that, different providers, we have a different resources and their arguments, and you have to get it from there. So important thing is you have to decide what you want actually, what you want to automate. Are you getting opens?
Ish.
Right. Okay. Now the question is how do we run? So you know that command, first dry run, then apply, and then destroy. So I'll do the dry run first. Okay. So go to the command line, clear the screen, Terraform, plan. Okay, see there's some error. What is this? I really don't know. It says, read this. Any idea what is the error?
The issue with the credentials, right?
Yeah, remember guys, understand the concept. Here, this provider is making call to APIs. This KPI you should be having passing the request through the with the credential. Otherwise, this API will not entertain your request. So we need a API. So and for that I'm creating manually. So you know that all this stuff, how to create it. So let's go ahead and create manually. So go to IAM. And user. So I'm creating one temp user, temp, and giving the programmatic access, API access. And there's one group called EC2. I'll giving that here. Tax is not required right now. Created user. So once I created here, I should get this key. This is the key I am going to update it. So now it's not a good practice to embed the access key and secret key here, but just for the demo purpose we are saying. Once you learn this, you can find out the tens of ways to secure these credentials. Okay, So this is the I did this. So can I do this plan now? Right now, I updated this. Remember my AC resources. I want to create one instance. If you do the count is equal to 3, it will become a 3 instance. So count is a way to do that. And you see here, it read, it worked. And you see here, how many? 0 to add. Sorry, 1 to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy. That means 1 resources I want to add it, and these are the planning. Okay. But before running apply, because the second one is apply, right? Apply will create the infrastructure. But I want to add a GitHub also. So I want to create one repository. So for that, let me copy that script also. Go to the projects. Here, it is having nothing. Great. You look at this here. I'll show you what we are doing. Resource name, GitHub repository, example, name of the repository, and description and private false. Now, how do we get it? So I have learned from here only. Nothing, nowhere else. Go to the provider, which is I have to go back. The provider, the URL which you have access initially. So this is the provider, and I'll go to the VCS. Same way, the way you work with AWS. Now GitHub. Now I downloaded the provider. That's okay, but token and organization I have not set. Now what do you want in this? So resources. You look at these resources. I want the repository to be created. New repository. So here you see resource, GitHub repository, example, name, DAP, and some template. If you want to use it, you can do that. And arguments, all these arguments, you have it here. You see, you can use it. Not all are required, so this will create a GitHub registry. Now before that, I should update this access of GitHub also. So let's go to the GitHub. And I'm going to get the update key setting. Developer setting. Personal token access. Generate new one. This is for Terraform, right? Given all access, just I don't want to complicate right now. Giving read or write, delete, all access I've given it. So here, this is the token, and organization name is where I want to create it. You have to create organizations. That's important. So typically I work with the this temporary one, which is somewhere demo temporary. See here, this is the one. So this is a change, not change. So let it be continue. So guys, this is the way you have a GitHub provider, AWS provider. Now one of the resources of AWS, another resources is GitHub. Okay, did you understand this now, everyone? Everyone?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Rajesh,
Now
for
we will
the
do that.
AWS organizations, did you created one? How did you created one, or does it shows default?
Which AWS organization?
GitHub
This one,
organization.
GitHub. This I have to create it. This you have to have it. Token and organizations I have to create it. You can create as many organizations. See here, create organization.
Okay, yeah, got it. Yeah.
So this is the one. So important thing, yes, that's one of the things. Like, see, before automation, because Terraform is automation tool for entire infrastructure. So that's the reason, if before moving to the automation part or before moving to the Terraform part, you should know all these tools, like all the services of AWS, GitHub and all, or any other tools which you see in the provider list. Because if you don't know what you want to do, then Terraform will not help you, right? I know EC2 instance, so I'm trying to automate through Terraform. I know that GitHub repository. Like that, you have to know that all these platforms. Okay. So yes. So now the question is, same thing we have to follow. Now plan. So before plan, I will run one more time because I changed this stuff. So I'll do plan one more time before apply. And it will just calculating based on the permissions, stuff like that, how many need to be created and stuff like that. Remember one more thing you should not forget, state file. Remember, Terraform create a state file, but if it is applied, before apply, they will create a state file in the memory itself. See here, earlier it was only one, but it's a two is become to add, change 0 and destroy 0. That means this is a GitHub resources and that is a upon is EC2 instance. So that's good, right? And now you see the directory structure here. See, there's no third file. This is for GitHub resources. You have a 50 resources here also. Providers and number of providers, AWS resources, it depends on you. Now there's no state file here right now because state file will be there in the memory right now during the plan phase. But once you apply, it will do the changes. So can we do the apply now? Enter. I did this, enter, apply. Apply means real infrastructure will be created. Just imagine in your Terraform script, you have one resources or 2000 resources you can create in one go. You can update in one go and you can delete in one go and using only one programming language. So that's the advantage of Terraform. So here, yes, I want to do that. They are asking you, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I want to do. Will validate. Okay guys, done. Can I rerun one more time? It's a safe. See, 2 added, 0 change, 0 destroy. I can run 10 times, nothing will happen because you have already desired 2 resources with the X number of arguments. You got it. No change has happened, so nothing will happen. So I apply one more time. So even though if you run 10 times by mistake, nothing will happen because your desire has been achieved already. See here, 0 added, 0 change, 0 destroy because your desire was matching. And how do they match? Look at this very carefully. Example, no change, refreshing state, everything is okay. So can we see the state file? See, this is the state file. This is the state file. Now in this state file, whatever it got created, it has recorded. You should not touch this file. You should not change anything. This is a JSON file. You should not touch. Okay, you should not do anything here. This is managed by Terraform, so it's good to be managed by Terraform. You should not touch. If you want to touch the Terraform script, not a state file. And everything what got created, you see the instance ID here, it must be having it. So where is that? Look at this here. And for this GitHub, they have everything. Okay. So these are the changes which you have got it done. So can we do one thing? Now next time I want to modify something. What do you want to modify? Something. Let's say, and let me tell you, you cannot modify this. You cannot modify this because AWS do not. Let's say you create a one EC2 instance. While running the EC2 instance, can you change the MIIDs? Can you change the type? No, you cannot. You have to recreate the new things. So you have to decide which is allowed, which is not allowed. This is based on your experience with that particular provider and resources. So tag, I know that it can be feasible. First, let's validate whether it got created or not. So here, EC2 instance, I'm validating it. Three, from it was 2, now it's 3. And now look at this here, hello world 2. You got it. So this is the instance which is running. You see that here, hello world 2. Can I change this hello world 2 to 3? Because I can change that. And can I plan one more time? And see that only I change the tag. And I forgot to validate that repository. Well, that will be created, I know that, but just too good to validate. Refresh this. The repository name was August 2020. Look at this. August 2020. Okay, so it got created now. Now can you check this here? See here, this time 0 to add, nothing new resources getting added, but you are modifying one, and 0 to destroy. So can you do this time apply? And you see here, I applied. Yes. Want to change. See here, one change has happened. Destroyed, none. Can we check? See here, refresh. See, world, hello world 3. So now I created. Now finally, can I delete this? See that. Only yours will be deleted. Destroy. That's all. So your automation is completed. So you created, changed, added, changed, and destroy in one go. And you, only yours will be deleted. Remember, I have a 3 resources, 3 EC2 instance here running, but only this will be deleted. Let's check it out here. I have to say yes here. Let it come. Yes. Enter. Okay. Validate.
So
Refresh.
it has destroyed this GitHub
See, the
organization.
instance is gone. See, terminate and refresh it. See, it's gone. What you said?
Means 2 resources
What is
got
it?
destroyed, right? Like GitHub repository as well as the instance, both.
Both repository and instance, both.
So if we
You
need
can
to like
conditionally also destroy one.
Okay.
To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
Yeah, how can you do that? Very simple. Destroy -h. -h never forget nowadays. Okay, any commands, any tools in the DevOps world. Okay, and now see you want to deploy specific resources, you can do that. See here. Got it? Resource name is, you can see github.example. Okay, that's the resource name. Got it?
Yes, sir, yeah, got it.
Yeah. For the best practices, I'm deleting this because these are the good credentials information which you'll get problem with. So let's delete that. And there is a temp and deleting that user. Done. Okay guys, so this is the way you can automate. Now the question is, you have created few instances. Okay, think about it. The question is, you have created the instance, but you want to do something inside it. You want to do something inside it. You want to install something, you want to set up, configure something, you want to copy something, you want to download something, you want to remove something. So something you want to do, let's say configuration management, like a chef, you want to run the chef script or Ansible script or install Git or something you want to do. How do you do that in the inside resources? Think about it. How do you do that? So here, understand that creating a resource is one problem. But this time, what is happening? Let me visualize this, understand this. Now, MS Paint here. Think about it. This is your laptop, and using the Terraform, you created a resources in AWS. This is the EC2 instance. So now you want to do something here, right? You want to do something here. So one is like creating a resources, that's the AWS APIs. But if you want to do something here, you need a username and password or keys for this place, right? Correct. And how do you log in from the laptop? You want to log in. How do you log in? How do you log in? Nowadays, guys, are you there? Hello. Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, Rajesh, you are audible.
Okay. So how do you log in typically? Either you log in through SSH, you forgot all this stuff, or WinRM Windows. If it is a WinRM Windows, SSH, Linux. So if you want to connect to this machine, Linux or Windows machine, WinRM, and then you want to run something inside it. So how do we do that in Terraform? Because you want to automate an entire thing, you don't want to do manual stuff. And that is where the provisioner will come. Okay, look at this here. That is where the provisioner will come. So go back to the documents here. Go back a little bit. Provisioners. And See here. Now we understood the providers very well. See here. This is a state file which I showed you here. This is the state file. You must be seeing two state file. So this is second last run. This is the last run, most recent. Only two you will get it. Now you understand the provider also. Now next thing you have to understand provisioner. What is a provisioner? Okay. So provisioner is a way to do the changes in the resources inside the resources. And for the provisioner, you need a connection. That means connection means login. So let's click on this and just learn about this. So basically you will find 6 or 7 provisioners. You see here, these are the provisioners. These are the built-in provisioners. Okay, this is a chef provisioner. That means using this provisioner, you can run the chef cookbooks. These are the puppet provisioner. Using that puppet provisioner, you can run the puppet modules. This is the salt provisioner. You can run the salt script. But here I am talking about file provisioner, local provisioner, and a remote provisioner. So what these provisioners will do, we need to know. It's very important. So now look at this here, this provisioners, file provisioner. Click here. Now see here, look at this example program. You'll understand very easily. First read this statement. Everyone. Only the one which I selected, nothing else. The file provisioner is used to copy files and directories from the machine. Executing Terraform to newly created resources. That's what I said. You have to copy the files from here to here. Understand that? You have some files, war file, ER file, HTML file, exe file, whatever file you have. You want to copy from here to here. What you should do? Use the file provisioner. Simple. File provisioner is used to copy files and directories from the machine executing Terraform to the newly created resources, which is this one. Okay. Now the question is, how do you copy? Because you don't have access, and for that you have to use SSH authentication or WinRM authentication. That's called connection type. SSH for Linux, WinRM for Windows. Look at this example here. Here you are creating one web named with EC2 instance, and you are creating that, and here you will have a ... That means those specifications which I have showed you already. That means these are the one. Okay, those arguments. But now you can add inside that provisioner file. So what? Source to destination. So source in the current location your laptop to the resources which got created inside a web. So file provisioner you can use for the copying. Where's the connection option? So connection option here I cannot see. So let me show you here. Click on this. See here. Look at this. This is a complete code. Provisioner file, source, destination, connection type. Here it can be WinRM or SSH. User, password or keys, and which host you want it. So this is the way you can copy the file. So guys, did you understand the file provisioner?
This Ansible is not there, is it? Like in the provisioners?
So Ansible itself is a command line option. You can run the command line option, right? Remember?
Right. Yeah.
So you can in the Ansible we have a concept of called inventory, right? Correct now?
Yes. Yes.
So what happens? Chef is an agentful. I mean, agentful is a new word, I guess. Let me put it in this way. Ansible is agentless, whereas Chef is having agents, and Puppet is also having agents. Salt is having agent. So that's the reason they have this provisioner. In Ansible, you don't require those agents. I mean those. So you can run it, install the Ansible, and then copy the playbook and inventory, and then run it. So there's no agent required. So there's no manifest conversion happens.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So like that. So I was telling you something. Yeah. So did you understand this file provisioner, which you to copy file from your local remote machine? I mean local machine to remote machine, which you created. Okay. Make sense? Now, guys, local exec provisioner. What is a local exec provisioner? So local exec provisioner. Just read this one only. That's the one line. What is a local exec provisioner? So local exec provisioner invokes a local executable. Understand that local means in a laptop after a resource is created. Think about it. Okay. So let's say you created an instance here. You created instance, set up hell lot of things. You did it in the EC2 instance. Okay. You copy file, you start the services, all this thing. You did it whole lot of things. But once this work is done, you want to trigger some script here. Maybe sanity, selenium test cases, or something you want to trigger in the local machines. Let's say you deploy the software here and you want to run the sanity from here, simple, to this address. So in that case, what you should use? Local exec first. Very simple. Look at this here. Resources, creating instance, provisioner, local exec, command, whatever you want to run it. Okay. Now local exec, you don't require any connection options because local only, so nothing is required. These are the arguments you have: command, working directory, interpreter, environment. So whatever you can run. See here, they are using Perl, PowerShell, Echo, Linux. So you can use the one. Now let's say if you want to do something in the remote machine after the login, then you need a remote exec. Simple. But only after the resource is being created. Please read only this line. Not everything is required. So remote exec provisioners invoke a script on the remote machine, remote resources after it is created. So for remote, you need a connection again. Okay. So see a remote exec, whatever the script you want. See puppet apply, console join, da. Okay. So here you need a connection. It's not here, but you need a connection here. It says, see. So for the file and remote exec, you need a permission. So see, this is a file. This is again file. Let me see if I can get the remote. I have a example for it. Just a minute. So all the examples you can find out the my place, this blog. I'll show you this at the end of it. Terraform, remote, what I did. Remote exec. And local exec is here. This is a remote exec. Look at this here. Code directly hit this. This is the one EC2 instance you are creating, and you are doing the remote exec. You must be wondering why I'm keeping a separate one. So see what happens. You created an instance here. Think about it logically. And after that, if you keep the remote exec, okay, with the connections inside this one, what will happen? You change little bit of this logic here. So every time it will recreate the instance, it will destroy and the recreate. That is like a cost for you. So if something goes wrong here, you will get frustrated, like every time is destroying this and creating, because here ultimately they want your desire to be maintained. So if something has not happened, so they will recreate the infrastructure and redo the things. To avoid that, there's one resource which is called null resource. So null resource, using that you can log into the existing resources connections here and then do the changes in that. So that way this will not destroyed and recreated again and again. So this is the one of the trick you can apply. So see here, provisional remote exec, these are the commands you can run, and these are the connection options. You have the key, username and password, and also key and all. So guys, did you understand the remote exec? So anything you want to do inside a remote machine which you created, file you want to copy, local, you want to run in the some script after that resource is being created, a remote edge. Make sense? Guys, got it?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay. Now the question is, what is the next topic? So next topic is variables. Guys, in Terraform, something you hard coded. Actually, I did hard coded so many things. This is hard coding, this is hard coding. Look at this provider here. This is hard coding, this is hard coding. All these are hard coding. How do we do that? If you look at any programs of existing program, they are not hard coding. If you look at the official documents, see here, these are variables, these are variables. Okay, these are variables. So they're not hard coding it. So what do we do in this case? How do we work with the variables? So now let's go to my page, Terraform. So guys, in Terraform, because you have a different kind of variables. So let me show you here variables, complete reference. So though there are so many types of variables are there, but typically you need this one only. So these are the types of variables like number, string, list, map, and boolean. So now let's click one of which, and I'll show you example map boolean. Now where and all you can declare the variable. So remember guys, when once you declare the variable in multiple places, same variable, then precedence will apply. So you can declare the variable in the Terraform many places. Okay. Environment you can set, local values you can set, command line you can set, in tier vars you can set, .tier programs also you can set. Another files you can set, output variables you can set, and so many places you can set it up the variables. So if the duplicate variables will set it up, the precedence will get applied. Okay, so mindful about it. So for that, look at this is the one of the type which is called number type. Okay, so look at this here, very simple example. Provider resources, look at this. What you are creating these resources, let me make it a little bit bigger. You are creating a EC2 instance IAM user, not AWS IAM user. Now you see here, count how many users you want to create. So how many users you want to create? Count. See here, this is how you use the variable. Where do you declare this variable? In the tier program. So variable, number of users, type number, default value 3. Simple. That means 3 users will be created. But the problem here is name of the users cannot be same of all 3 because API will fail, right? So for that, what we have done, Rajesh dot, it's a appending concatenation and dollar count dot index, where is the count is equal to 3. See here, 3, and dot index. You know the index means 0, 1, 2, all this if you understand the list of it. So this is the list type. This is the number type. So did you understand this here? Sorry, this is also number type. Sorry, and here you are indexing Rajesh dot index 0. That means 3 times you will run. So this whole resources will run 3 times. So 0, 1, 2, like that. Understood this? Guys, hello, hello.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, now let me show you an example of string type. See here, quote, something similar. This is the declaration of the variable. You're using the variable $var dot repo name, where the repo name is string type, value is root date 3 broad. Okay, now let me show you that list type. See here, variables user list. How many values? DevSchool 11, 12, 13. So this is the list. How can you use it? See here, this is the 1, 0, this is the 0, this is the 1, this is the 2. So these many types you have using. Let me show you map type. Map is good one. So see here, this you can one script you can work for all the regions. So see here, AMIs map here key value. Now see here what you are doing. Create an instance for var.amis, var.region. This is a AMIs. So if it is a different regions, let's say this one, then set AMIs this one. If it is this one, then this one. Now where is the var.region? So here var.amis is coming from here, but where is the var.region? So var.region is coming from the your this provider file. Provider. I'll show this provider. See here. Okay. So those are the things you can set up and map. This is the boolean true and false. So very simple. Here set false and like this. So guys, this is the way you can do the variable. Now in this page, I have given each and every examples. See here. Terraform install Ansible and run playbook example, state explained, backup explained, basic workflow, advanced workflows, variables, some example code and lab and demos, modules, dependencies, errors and solutions, workspace, looping iterations, and some other references. So all these things you have tutorials, plus you have around 7-8 hours of videos also in LMS. Just check it out and practice it. If you have any questions, you can drop me an email and I'll help you with it. Any questions, guys?
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.